So you're looking to start or grow your social media marketing agency? Well, my friend, you're in for a ride. Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Jaime and I'm the proud owner of a social media marketing agency, transforming online brands into market leaders. That is what we do at my e-com agency called Mogul C Media. Now, I've been in the marketing agency game for around 2 years now, and at this point these two eyes have seen a lot. And all jokes aside from my intro, there's a few core secrets that I wish I'd known when I started my social media marketing agency. It would have made the process so much easier, so much smoother. Now, am I grateful for all the ways I screwed up? Yes, because they taught me a lot. But with this video, I want to save you guys all the months of trials and tribulations and things that just didn't work that I was doing when I started my social media marketing agency, because I simply didn't have a video just like this to watch. So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 secrets that I've learned throughout my process that will make the process of starting and growing your social media marketing agency to 6 figures so much easier. So if you want to learn more, keep on. Now, the first secret is go narrow. And what I'm talking about here is go narrow with your service and go narrow with your niche. Now, let's first talk about the niche. When I started my social media marketing agency, I started by doing gyms. I started by going the local business route. And I soon realized that I just completely hated that route. And really that came down to the fact that I was not in control of the outcome. Yes, with local business, you're bringing in leads, and yes, you can attribute a value to those leads. But when it comes to monetizing those leads, you're not in control of that, right? You can bring them all the leads you want. I could bring in very high qualified leads to all these gym clients, right? But when it came to closing the deal, even though I was actually training their sales team, they still couldn't manage to close the deal. And so obviously that hurt my service, because why would a client keep paying for leads that they can't actually close? And so out of that pain, I moved towards the e-commerce sector, towards the e-commerce niche. I'll talk about the reason behind this in just a second. I'm a massive fan of the e-commerce niche. It's what I preach in this channel time and time again. And the reason why that is because the KPI is the sale. You are optimizing for a purchase. You're literally getting someone to take out their card and pay for something, right? And you can directly attribute how much money you've made your clients. And I absolutely love that because it gives you so much power, right? But what I didn't do too well when I started with e-commerce is that I just focused on e-commerce as a whole. And you need to realize that e-commerce is not a niche, it is a sector. You really need to go much more narrow than e-commerce. You need to pick something within e-commerce that is a passion of yours, a hobby of yours, and that you can actually monetize. And I like to prioritize those spaces that have either high average order values or high profit margins. I'm talking tech, for example, I'm talking health, I'm talking fitness, I'm talking even travel, music. There's so many different sub niches that you can pick in the e-commerce niche. But the key here is to go narrow. And the reason why this is because the more narrow you can go, the bigger the edge you're gonna get over your competitors, simply because there's this one thing called in-group, out-group bias. As humans, we tend to favor people who share common interests and common traits. And so when you reach out to a prospect and they get approached by 2 types of agencies, we've got the e-com agency, right, who focuses on a myriad of different sub niches, and that's completely okay when you reach a certain size. But then you've got your agency who doesn't have much experience or testimonials, but you're laser focused into one single sub niche, and they just simply tend to gravitate more towards your agency simply because you focus on their sub niche, right? And we tend to favor people that share common interests. So that's the first thing when it comes to the niche. A lot of people think that just because you go narrow, you have less possibilities or less leads available. And I would actually say that you have even more, because you actually know what to look for, right? The reason why a lot of people can't find leads is simply because they have too broad of a market, right? So they don't even know what to search for. And I've talked about this on my channel already, but that is one of the benefits of picking a sub niche, simply because you can really get laser focused onto one single cohort of people and find a ton of leads in there. So that's really the niche. And the second thing is something I didn't really struggle with, but it comes down to the service. But I know so many agency owners who offer such a variety of different services, and what that causes is a lot of complexity for your agency, because you need people for each service that you offer. Because the way you want to structure your agency is you have someone do that service for you, okay, and you focus on the sales, the outreach, creating systems, reporting, communicating with your team, right? But when it comes to service delivery, that should be taken care of by a member of your team. And so if you have a bunch of different services, then you have to have someone who carries out that service, which adds a lot of complexity if you have more than one service. So that's really what I would say for the first point: go narrow or go home. And on to the second point. And by the way, guys, you're gonna want to stick around till the end, because the final point is really what changed things up for my agency. But this next point is also gonna be incredibly vital. So on to the second point. The second secret is smashing the like button. And you might be wondering, how does smashing the like like button help me grow my agency? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You see, the more you give, the more love you put out into the universe, the more you're gonna get back. So go ahead and smash the like button. And with that being said, let's go right into the second point. Now, the second point is all about understanding that we're not reinventing the wheel, right? We're not inventing a rocket. We're not building a rocket. We're not an Elon Musk, right? And this business model is not that. And I love the fact that it's not that, simply because for beginner entrepreneurs is the best way to get your foot through the door in the entrepreneurial world. And the reason why I want you guys to keep that in mind is because so many people, when they get into the space, they're so overwhelmed. And the reason why I say this is because I was in that same spot myself, right? You know, funnels, media buying, copywriting, all this stuff overwhelmed me so much because I really didn't know about all that stuff. But first of all, you need to realize that when it comes to the service, right, you're gonna learn along the way, because right from the start, we're gonna have a media buyer, we're gonna have a contractor, a team member who's gonna do that for us, who's gonna take care of that for ourselves. So realistically, we're only having to focus on some core abilities that we need to learn. Here, I'm just talking sales, communicating, outreach, and building systems for reporting. I would say those are the 4 key ones, as well as obviously hiring very talented people. And so my point with all this is the only way to fail with social media marketing agency is to give up. And the reason why this is because we're not introducing anything new to the market. We're not creating a new product that can just massively flop, right? The demand for the service is already there. We're just searching for the need in the market, filling that gap. That is all we are doing. We're adding value, getting value in return, by filling a gap, by filling a need that's already in the market, that's already created in the market. So as I said, realistically, the only way to fail is to give up and to listen to the right people or not have the right guidance, because you're gonna take a ton more time to actually get to the destination. But apart from that, trust me, you got this. And with that being said, let's go right into the final point. I'm so excited for this point, and I think it's gonna help a ton of you. And so with that being said, let's go right into it. The final secret that's really gonna speed your way up to success when it comes to social media marketing agency is giving more thought to your offer. And this is something that no one really talks about, and it's such a neglected aspect of the SMMA space and really the service-based business. And that is giving more thought to your offer. You need to make sure that you create an irresistible offer. I see so many agency owners, they come straight into the space, right? And they go straight into the sales and outreach. And I think that's great because you're taking action, and that's really what's gonna move the needle forward. But you need to make sure that you have an irresistible offer that's almost gonna sell itself. That's not just gonna be another Facebook ads agency, a 3-month minimum or a 5-month minimum or a 6-month minimum, and it's simply just the typical retainer. You wanna give way more thought to the offer than that. Simply because at this point, there's also agencies out there who are probably offering the exact same thing, right? And so the way I want you guys to imagine this is kind of like a pair of shoes. When you're buying a pair of shoes, yes, technically all shoes do the job, but why do you buy one pair over the other one? It maybe has better quality leather, or maybe it looks much better, or maybe the branding is on point, or maybe you just love the brand, or maybe they're just so freaking comfortable, or maybe they're much cheaper, or maybe they're way more expensive, but it's much better quality, right? So there's always a differentiating factor, and that's what a lot of agency owners just don't think about. So how do you create an irresistible offer? There's a lot of ways to go about this, but the way I recommend you guys to do it is, for example, you can think about the length of your contracts. How can you make that different to what most agencies do? You can think about, for example, performance-driven incentives. How can you make your pricing different to what most agencies out there? And the final thing you can look at is the promise of results. So what's kind of the KPI that you're optimizing for? What are you actually shooting for? What's the goal of your service? And it could be just, for example, a mission of taking small e-com brands to that 5 million a year in revenue mark. But the point here is give more thought to your offer, make it irresistible, and it's gonna get to a point where it's almost gonna sell itself. And sales and outreach is gonna get so much easier because you're coming into the market with such an offer that's almost a no-brainer for your target audience. So that's what I would say on the final point, and those are my 3 secrets. So guys, as I said, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and drop a big thumbs up. YouTube just loves when that thing turns blue. And to be honest, I don't blame them because it looks pretty sexy. So go ahead and smash the like button. Myself and my whole team would really appreciate it. Also leave down below in the comments any questions you may have on this video, and I'll be sure to check those out. And the final thing is, if you haven't subbed to my YouTube channel, there's so much content coming out on entrepreneurship and social media marketing agency with a specific focus on sales, outreach, and e-commerce growth and getting results for our clients. So if you don't want to miss any of that, go ahead and sub to my channel and click the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And the final thing is, if you haven't checked out the free private mentorship community, the Client Closers, it's an incredible community full of like-minded people looking to scale their agency and level up in life. And we've got agency owners from all walks of life, people who are making 10, 20K, and people who are just starting out. It's such an incredible community. I'm hosting live trainings, I'm hosting live interviews in there, so you're not gonna wanna miss that out. And as always guys, I hope everything's going well in your agency journey, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.